Property and Finance Committee meeting to order February 13th at 12:45 in the first floor conference room at City Hall. We'll just go around the room and introduce ourselves for attendance purposes.
I'm Scott Kellogg, Alderman, sitting in for Shane Blazer.
Sue Schill, City Attorney.
Tom Realm, Alderman, District 4.
Jake Catnock, committee member.
Steve Cook, Alderman and Chairman. First item is in open session, the committee will vote to go into closed session under section 19.85 para 1 para E of the Wisconsin statutes, which reads deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. Item A, in closed session, the committee will discuss negotiations and strategy regarding a lease agreement with the Wisconsin Raptors LLC and the Northwoods League Incorporated for use of Witter Field. Item B, the committee will return to open session and may take action regarding the approval of a lease agreement with the Wisconsin Raptors LLC and Northwoods League Incorporated for the use of Witter Field. With that, I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Alderperson Kellogg?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. We will now go into closed session. All right, we are back in open session. We have the Raptors with us. Do you want to
I'll make a motion.
go ahead?
I'll make a motion to approve the lease agreement with the Wisconsin Rapid Drafters and the Northwoods League for use of Witter Field
As presented.
as presented.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Any questions for the Raptors? Do you guys have any questions for us, or good? You guys are good to go with the lease?
You bet.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, good to hear. Good to hear.
Thank you for staying here for another 11 years.
We wouldn't want to be anywhere else. It's been amazing up here.
All right, well, thank you. We're glad to have you guys as part of the community.
Thank you. Yeah, proud to be here.
All right.
All right.
We have a motion and second on the floor. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
Outstanding. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, we appreciate
Look
it.
forward to seeing you at the ballpark this summer.
All right.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Just to let you guys know, there is one more step in the process, which is
We understand.
the full council.
Council's on Tuesday at night. What
Yeah.
time's the meeting at?
6.
6 o'clock.
We'll be here.
So,
Sounds great. Thank you guys so much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Are you really?
I've got a meeting in the morning, so.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. See you.
All right, item number 3 is review and consider proposals for recreational center capital campaign strategy development. Mayor?
So I sent you the proposal that we received. The other individual that was contemplating entering a bid or a proposal indicated that they wouldn't have the capacity to take on the project, so therefore they weren't going to submit a bid. So that's the only proposal that I have to date, would be the one from Mark's Media Works. I think I emailed that last Tuesday evening after the council meeting. I don't have paper copies, or after your committee meeting, I don't have paper copies, unfortunately, in front of me. And if I recall, that it was essentially a time and materials proposal as opposed to a kind of a lump sum. Just see if I can find it here. Did everybody receive a copy of it, or was they?
I did, but somehow I missed it, so this is my first time reading over it.
Let me see if I can. We can also try to put it up on the screen here too. Mark, it'd be from Mark.
So they do have in here, assist with outreach and fundraising, meetings and presentations, so that would be part of the,
Basically, they responded to the scope and they'd be willing to do the scope for a certain price, and that was kind of on an hourly basis. They didn't offer a lump sum. I think they're asking for us to establish a budget in this particular proposal that they would have to work within, or a set of hours.
I mean, I don't mind the hourly rate, because then we could pick and choose on what meetings necessarily we might need them to come to or assist with, or so as far as a budget, I mean, where do we even start with that? The only thing I see in here is services range between $65 and $100.
Yeah, and
So
that,
what's the average hours on this?
your guess is as good as mine. I didn't push back, I wanted to see what your thoughts were about the proposal before I went further or negotiated anything with them. We would have to execute a contract with them after we set a direction anyway, so we basically would establish those parameters.
Yeah, I hate to go back and forth with them, but I mean, it would have been nice to like have next to each one of these services that they're providing what the average hour is, the average amount of hours is for a campaign like this. Like update the fundraising strategy, how many hours?
Yeah, right.
Update the outreach, how many hours? Because I feel like this is kind of blind, and I'd hate to just throw a number out there that could be way too high or way too low, and then we're
Yeah, a proposal in terms of how many hours per category or something, yeah. Yeah, and, in terms of where we have a budget amount, where we could pull a budget from, Tim had indicated previously that, annually we've been putting aside aquatics operational money that in our budget, we've reserved that capacity in our budget, so we haven't, so in fact, we actually have a carryover from last year to use for this type of thing. So from a cost standpoint, he said that that would be an appropriate use of those funds that we would not have spent in 2019 to carry over for this year. So, yeah, that's all, unfortunately, that's all I have from him. And I don't have, him meaning Mark, I don't have anything further from anyone else.
Would Mark be able to come to a future meeting?
I'm
Could
sure,
answer.
yeah, we could ask him to come to.
Because I mean, the proposal's nice, it gives scope, but there's so many specific questions that without him here, it's hard to.
Yeah, and I could ask him to come to
Whatever.
council maybe on Tuesday. I mean, you don't have anything to really advance necessarily for a recommendation at this time, and he can speak to his proposal or offer a clarification that would basically speak to those specific categories and the amount of, is that what you're referring to, the amount of time
Yeah.
he would propose to spend on each of those activities?
Right, I mean, he gives the scope here and what they would do, but, and then what their hourly rate is, but no estimation of what each bullet point here takes in terms of hours.
Yeah, it's pretty open-ended.
Yeah. But I think it's something that we do need to move and we need to move forward with, because we're doing kind of the same thing when we're pushing further into the year now. And right now is prime time, Aquatic Center's gonna open, people are buzzing about it.
Yeah.
We gotta get this stuff out there and get it moving, otherwise, if we're sitting here after fall, after it's already open, it's,
Excitement.
we might as well not even do it then, yeah. But, yeah, if you could come to a meeting, I don't know if it has to be the council meeting, cause, there's nothing to take action on tonight, right, so.
But you could take action on Tuesday, I guess is my point.
We could.
So if he did get some, satisfactory information to you, or if I can find another person to submit a proposal for comparative purposes, you just wouldn't have a recommendation from tonight, and you could take that action on Tuesday,
Okay,
if I'm not mistaken.
So the
Right?
action would be then just to hold it over till council?
Not even, just no recommendation at this time.
But, so what is gonna happen? Do you actually want them to, what action do you want them to take at council?
Well, they're thinking that if they had more information, they'd be able to take action. They're not,
They actually would accept the, oh, okay, I didn't know what you,
sorry, yeah.
when you mentioned the contract later, I didn't know if you thought it was gonna come back to be approved, okay.
I mean, as far as the scope on here, I don't, again, without being able to answer, but he's got 5 bullet points on here between $65 and $100. And if it was 10 hours a piece, I wouldn't even consider that bad for what this investment will be, but
Yeah, is
again,
it 5,000, is it 15,000?
without knowing.
Right.
And yeah, if he could come on Tuesday and we could get those questions answered, it might be something easy to take action on if it's a low sticker tag for this scope of work.
I'll make
You could
contact
do
with
that.
him.
I mean, they
Then
were
we can
gonna
get it
meet
moving.
at 5:30.
Oh, they were gonna meet before council? Okay.
But I don't wanna volunteer that, but, yeah, just to, because I think we felt we need to then lock in that we were gonna actually do these
Oh, okay.
two things, which
Sure.
are kinda separate from these, but,
Okay.
so,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know,
can,
maybe to
and
do
he can
that.
come to the committee meeting if he's available and speak to the proposal. I think it's good to get something in writing that calls for a specific budget for those activities at this point. I mean, right now it's open-ended, you can't approve of, you'd have a not to exceed in general when you would make a motion, so you would almost need that before you can
Right.
consider action anyway.
So you may have to start it closer to 5,
Yeah, I might have to.
just to-
Or 5:15.
for his, to get this out of the way, and then
Mhm.
for his explanation
Right,
question.
and I'm fine with that. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we can push it to 5.
Or 5:15.
5:15 would be fine. We'll just throw that on the agenda, so we're not gonna take any action on item number 3 at this time. We'll just put that onto a special property and finance committee meeting for next week, Tuesday on the 18th. Item number 4 is consider and review a contract with Pyrotechnic Display Incorporated for the city's 4th of July 2020 fireworks display. See proposed contract.
Right, this is the provider that we've been using for the last, gosh, I don't even know how many years, 8. And because of, we were gonna try to get everybody together and do a whole RFP for this year, because it has been some time, but now because well, it kinda got away from us, and plus, now that the 4th is on a Saturday, everybody's doing theirs, whereas, on the 4th, whereas usually it's on the week, people do it on the weekend, and we always do it on the 4th, so we're not really competing that much with as many, but now they wanna get us on the calendar, so I would recommend that we go with them, for this year, and then, right this summer, if, since it's been some time, that we do a request for proposals for 2021, just to have it re-looked at and see if there's anybody else out there that we want. We've been very happy with them, they've been very, very safety conscious, very good to work with. We have a system down with them now that's pretty seamless, so, but I think it's probably time to do that, and we could do that started this summer already, but for this year, it's already February, and in order to get locked in, I think we should go with them one more year and then revisit it this summer.
Is 20,000 what we paid in previous
Yes,
years? Okay.
I think last year was 20.
Which we went up from like 7 or 18, I think.
Yeah, there was a big jump with with their costs, I should say, not, with Chinese and trade and all that, so, but they gave us a pretty good, they didn't bump us up as much as probably they could have, so there was the jump either from 18 to 20 or 17 to 20 last year, but they're maintaining that for this year, so.
Any other questions or comments?
Just in relation to last year's fireworks and the rain, that's our
Forgot about
decision. That's our decision, right? If it comes the day of and it's delayed. I know we had some type of policy in place or
Yeah, there
predetermined
was,
decision last year.
there
that-
was supposed to be kind of a drop dead time in the afternoon, and at that point, everything was kind of showing that by 8:30 or 9, I don't remember now if it would be cleared out by then or hold off until after that, but, yeah, it kind of got in the situation where it was, and I think because I think the next day too was gonna be pretty, I mean, the forecast for the next day was not going to be, was worse than the 4th, so I think that's why they decided to, yeah, we'd like to make those decisions earlier, but it, just how it worked out, it was unfortunate, because there was a lot of rain.
Wet.
Right, but there is a rain date of the next day, and I guess if, they'll stay on site for that same cost, so. But it is ultimately our decision in consultation with them.
Looks like we just have to pay extra if we decided to, right? 5%.
Yeah, I guess there might be something in
Yeah.
there for,
But yeah, that's the only question I had on that.
yeah, I forgot that was last year that it was.
Wet, yeah.
Well, with that, I'll make a
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Pyrotechnic Display for the city's July 4th, 2020 fireworks.
I'll
As
second.
presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and second on the floor. Is there any other further discussion? Hearing none, committee will vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Depending on what agenda you have, there was an item 5. That item has been taken care of. So we will move into item number 6, which is adjournment.
Wait, it was taken care of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, yeah, the grant, actually, if the grant, your grant policy says that if the grant is $5,000 or less and does not require any type of a city match or local match, that those can just be approved by the department head and the finance director.
Okay,
So
excellent.
that's what had happened.
Just for informational purposes, I mean, can someone speak to it? This is going towards current canine costs?
Yes, it's
or-
$5,000, I
Yeah.
believe.
The new canine program, I believe, because the chief's
Right.
fundraising, so not
Okay.
current, but the new
Yeah,
proposed.
to have another canine, I guess. And actually, they found out that they were awarded it already, so.
Oh, really?
Yes. After I said that, or after we determined that they didn't have to wait for committee, I think it was something that they actually found out right away. So, yeah, $5,000, that's good.
Right. Item number 6 is adjournment.
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second.
A motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, and we are adjourned at 5:37.